Can we get real for a minute? Can we really just, you and me, talk? There's something on my mind. And it's kind of been bothering me a little bit. And I don't know why this is happening. I have a theory. And I want to go over it with you today. Because there's a lot to talk about. We've got... It's not a new movie. It's a new TV show. 007, A Road to a Million, was recently announced, and the world premiere just happened over in London. We now know all of the cast members, and I kind of want to talk about this today. So stick around. That's what we're doing. We're going to dive in on everything we know so far about 007, Road to a Million.
£1 million, man. What wouldn't you do?
I put real people into a James Bond adventure and placed 10 questions around the world. If they find them, answer them, they win £1 million. The only thing standing in their way is me.
Here we go again, brother.
Is that phone ringing?
Hello? Hello.
Your next question is 2,000 miles away.
Oh my God.
For £25,000. Climb it.
I can't believe this.
Jumped out of a chopper somewhere in the Swiss Alps.
I've never even been to Milton Keynes ski rink.
Oh, hello.
That ain't TK Maxx, is it?
This is impossible.
Why don't you go down there?
Are you sick?
The money is the prize. But this adventure has been the greatest thing we've ever done in our life.
And I'm only just getting started.
Hey guys, welcome back to the Bond Report. My name is Chris, aka the Bearded Blofeld. I do a weekly video surrounding the entire world of 007. So if James Bond is your thing like he is mine, please consider subscribing. And I always appreciate a thumbs up. Okay, so Road to a Million. Like I said, it was announced this week. And I've got the iPad here today because I wanted to actually have something in front of me for reference. I'm going a little off script here today, so bear with me. There's a lot it looks like they're really putting into this show. And for anyone who doesn't know already, they're already casting for season 2. This isn't going to be something that's here today and gone tomorrow. They are planning multiple seasons of this show. Amazon has obviously invested quite a bit into this. And I think with, we've got Brian Cox as the main host, being the controller. I think we've kind of got something special here. Everybody's just saying, okay, it's the amazing race. And for all intents and purposes, yes. If you want to boil it down, from what we know so far, yes, it looks like it is a clone or a copy of the Amazing Race, reality TV show here in America that they have then kind of skinned 007 or James Bond over top of. That's what we know so far. There could be more to this. We don't know exactly. This could be leading into something else. This could be something that we all truly fall in love with. But we won't know until it happens. And speaking of which, right now, if you are an Amazon Prime member, you can actually get tickets to go see the first, I believe it's the first 2 episodes. It may be the first episode. Don't correct me if I'm wrong. But it's at least the first episode. You can actually go see it in theaters this coming Wednesday. Now, this is for United States residents, I believe, only. It's airing all across the country in select theaters. So go check that out. If you go to just Google, you can put in 007 Road to a Million tickets, and it takes you to Prime Premiere. And you can go in and log in, and you can get tickets where you can download and go check this out in the theaters. That's another way they're getting us out of the house and providing us entertainment early. This is early access, guys, because it comes out on the 10th. They're going to give us 2 days early on November 8th. So it's this coming Wednesday. I jump on it. I've already got my tickets. And this show is going to give us 9 pairings of friends and family members going against each other, traveling around the world, completing random challenges. And these challenges are going to be controlled by screen legend Brian Cox. He is playing the controller. which seems to me a little bit of he's kind of got like a villain vibe going on here to him, but he's also kind of helping them at the same time. So there's a little bit of guidance from him, but if I had to take a guess, his goal is to prevent them from winning the money. But it's a £1 million reward that is constantly challenging contestants with difficult questions and adventures on their journey.
When it came through, it said 007. I went, oh, maybe they're going to ask me to do a villain. And then I thought, no, they can't do that because they haven't got a James Bond yet. And not only that, they haven't got a script yet for the next one. So it was a flight of fancy for a while. And then I realized it was this thing. And I thought, well, maybe if I do this, it's probably the nearest I'll ever get to it.
He went on record to say, I got to see how ordinary people would cope with being on a James Bond adventure as they travel the world to some of the most iconic Bond locations. It gets more intense and nail-biting. I enjoyed my role as both villain and tormentor, with license to put the hopeful participants through the mangle. He's having fun with this. He really is. Brian Cox might be the shining star through this entire series. And one thing that he mentioned was that he loved the different locations. Now, we have confirmed that they are shooting different scenes in Jamaica. We've also got Scottish Highlands as well as Venice confirmed. Now, obviously, there's going to be some snowscapes as well that we've seen in the trailer in some different locations. So I'm kind of excited to see where all this show takes us as well. So let's take a look and see all of the different couples and what they have to offer. We've got Beth and Jen. Jen is a trained nurse who has worked in Afghanistan, Kabul, Australia, and has helped soldiers and asylum seekers. Beth is specialized in emergency care and has worked with emergency departments across the world. James and Joey. Joey is a family man working as an electrician, and James is a copywriter and a musician. Kamara and Josh. Kamara is going to be more of the risk taker, thrill seeker. Josh is going to be more of the level head, kind of plan things out. Sana and Saiqa. These two sisters are 18 months apart, and they actually see themselves as twins rather than younger and older siblings. Sana works as a process engineer, and Saiqa is a fraud analyst. Keith and Nick. Both of these men have years of experience as retired police officers. They are described as two peas in a pod. Colin and Danny. These two have been friends for decades and have a connection that dates all the way back to their fathers coming from the same parish in Jamaica. They now refer to each other as brothers from another mother. Grace and Daniella. These two met while working in Capital Radio in Glasgow, but now are looking to show their love for Scotland and represent their nation on the show. Tanaka and James. James is your ladies' man, and Tanaka is your athlete. Paired together, they're ready to take on the challenges for this show. James and Sam. Father and son duo here, James and Sam, are very close with each other. Actually sent me a couple exclusive photos from the premiere night. So let's take a look at these. And I want to thank Sam for allowing me to share these photos. Starting off, this is probably my favorite of the bunch. You see both of the guys sitting here on the Tiger motorcycle that we saw in No Time to Die. Next up, we get to see Sam representing his team in that kilt, sitting at the controller's desk, which is a real, I don't know if this is probably a reproduction. This may be the actual desk used in the filming of the TV show, but I don't think this is the actual set that it was shot on. But either way, this is him at the desk of the controller. There we've got James also sitting in the chair of Brian Cox. Looks like here was a kind of a Q&A leading up to the premiere, or possibly after the premiere. Here is a picture of both of the guys. And then, of course, we've got James and Sam with their female counterparts. So now we know who they are. Let's kind of let that sink in for a second. So yes, we've got a competition reality show. It looks like they're going into unscripted territory, something very, very new for Eon Productions. Now, is this the right direction? I don't know. I really don't. There's a very divisive, I'll use that word, display of comments and opinions around this show right now within the community. I feel like a lot of people are very torn with this because on one respect, I think that some of us are very excited that we're getting something new, something that's James Bond, something we haven't seen before. But on the flip side of that coin, we're also not getting Bond 26. We're not getting an announcement of a new director. We're not getting an announcement of a new actor. And that's really what I feel like most of the community wants right now. We're looking at going on 5+ years since No Time to Die was finished filming, which should have been released in 2019. COVID hit, of course, pushed everything back. We got it when we got it, but we are still several years out. And while many of us are kind of frothing and gnawing at the bit of going, where's the next movie? They dropped this in our lap. And I got to tell you, from the pictures, Barbara Broccoli looks extremely proud of herself. This looks like something she has really put some effort into to try and create something unique. I don't know if there's a reason why Michael G. Wilson was not present at the premiere. We didn't see Greg either, or really anyone else. It was pretty much just Barbara on site. This makes me wonder. This really does. I think we're about to see a changing of the guard here. I think Michael G. Wilson is in the process of stepping down. And I've said this before in other videos. I think we're going to see Greg Wilson take over, take the helms and run with this. But I think we're going to see Michael G. Wilson gracefully bow out and say thank you and go into retirement, moving into Bond 26. I could be wrong, but I think that has a part of why we're not only not seeing any announcements for Bond 26, but also why he's not present for 007 Road to a Million's premiere. This reality TV show looks fun. I'm not going to lie. I'm into it. I dig it. I think it's something unique. I think it's a new territory that the production company needs to explore because we don't have anything like this. We've never had anything like this. You know, there's been talks about certain things in the past about spin-off TV shows and movies, things about, going all the way back to The Spy Who Loved Me.
What's happened? Where are you going?
Sorry, darling, something came up.
There's been talks of Halle Berry and Jinx having her own spin-off. Michelle Yeoh from Tomorrow Never Dies, with her having her own spin-off. Paloma from No Time to Die.
I know. I've done 3 weeks training.
What I'm getting at, though, is that we're finally getting a TV show. And whether or not it's what you expected or what you wanted, I'm going to go into this personally myself with optimism. Does that mean I'm going to be rewarded? Who knows? Only time will tell. But I don't feel like looking at this new offering from Eon as a negative, as a slap in the face, is the really right way to go about this. Just for the sheer fact that they have to rebrand. They have to give us something new and try different things. We're 25 films in on a 60-year cycle of a franchise. They can't give us Goldfinger for another 20 years. They can't redo Casino Royale 5 more times. They've got to try new things. And they're going to fail. But we're going to get some bangers out of this. We're going to see some successes. And so going into these moments like this with some optimism, I really feel like it's our way as fans that we can give back to them. They've been giving to us for so long. All the movies, all the adventures, all the stories. We've gotten a lot from them. Supporting them when they come out with new things like this, new ideas, new ways to kind of craft entertainment and have Bond be inclusive. Why wouldn't we support that? If we're fans, that's part of the fandom. And I know not everything is for everyone, and I'm not going to sit here and preach and try to tell you that, hey, you should go love this show. I'm not going to tell you to do that. This may not be for you, but that doesn't mean we need to have paragraphs upon paragraphs in posts online, in forums, in chats, putting this down before it even gets off the ground. This show is going to test people's intelligence. It's going to test their physical ability. It's going to test their fortitude and their ability to work together. And I think that's going to be the determining factor here. That's where we're going to see teams live and die on the hill, because it's going to come down to teamwork and how bad do you want this? Personally, I think we're in for something special. Like I said, it may not be for everybody, but for those that it is for, let's enjoy it together. But guys, I'm going to be following this show episode by episode. So if this is something that you're looking to follow, be sure to subscribe. Come back to the channel. I'm going to be talking about anything I notice, Easter eggs, who might be taking the lead, who might be falling out early, and we're going to talk about it here on the Bond Report. So make sure you subscribe. I always appreciate a thumbs up. Thanks so much for watching. And as always, Merry Christmas 007.